Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to go over my position rankings, my top 5 per position, okay? This will aid in creating my pre-combine top 100, which we'll be going over on Tuesday on the Frisco report. So I want to get this out in front of that before we get to that on Tuesday. So let's get into it. It's serious. D for defense, bro. All right. Let's get right into the list, man. We're going to start off with defense, the defensive side of the ball. So first up, my top 5, Aidan, Hutchinson, Kayvon, Thibodeaux, Jermaine Johnson, George Karlaftis, and Travon Walker. All right. This top 5 for me is a strong top 5. And this is the order that I have them probably coming off the board for me. I like Jermaine Johnson a lot. George Karlaftis, the production is kind of there. Travon Walker, kind of there, but I think you'll see Travon Walker really excel here at the next level. Kayvon Thibodeaux, you have questions about, does he really have a passion for the football? And that's the same crap they had with Deion Jordan, so that prospect scares the crap out of me. But Aidan Hutchinson, I think, has enough production there to be the number 1. All right. I don't have David Ajobo there. I broke him down. He's not a first-round player. He is not. Okay. Second, third, preferably the third. But we'll see what the combine shakes out here. Let's go to the defensive tackles, the big behemoths, the double cheeseburgers. All right. This is my top 5. Phidarian Mathis is my number 1, followed by Devontae Wyatt, Jordan Davis, DeMarvin Leal, and Travis Jones. All right. I like this top 5 for me. I just think Phidarian Mathis has more production. I think he does more of what the Cowboys would be interested in beefing up that defensive line, plus a player that can get to the quarterback. Devontae Wyatt, I think the Cowboys are higher on him than Jordan Davis. DeMarvin Leal, he can play on the outside as well. He gives you that Tyron Crawford type of flex. So, is he an upgrade over Golston? Probably. Maybe. You know what I mean? Travis Jones, I think, is the one that I would really like. I think this guy is just one of these big trash cans that, he's going to occupy a lot of space here. Okay. Let's go on to the linebackers. Devin Lloyd's my number 1 linebacker, followed by Nakobe Dean, Key Walker, Chad Muma, and Christian Harris to round out my top 5. All right. We'll see what the combine does, but this is another strong list. Cowboys will be in business for linebacker, so keep an eye on these guys. With the top 100, we'll see where I fit them in. Let's go to the next group, cornerbacks. Sauce Gardner's my number 1, followed by Andrew Booth, Trent McDuffie out of Washington, Roger McCreary, and Kyer Elam. The most notable omission, Derek Stingley. I don't buy it, and I'm not gonna buy it. Mo Claiborne 2.0 written all over that guy there. So you can have him. If he falls to the Cowboys, pass on him. Somebody else can take him. I don't want to go through that crap again, bro. I don't want to go through when he's on the field. I cannot stand those when they're on the field guys. These guys that stay hurt in college, they stay hurt in the pros. That's a true saying, and that's what happens. Okay, but I like this top 5. Of these 5, the Cowboys, I think Andrew Booth is probably the one that they would probably fit that scheme the most. Kyer Elam as well. He's got, I think he's like 6'2". Andre Booth, I think, is a 6 foot or 6'1", somewhere like that. But tall, physical corners, and we still have Dan Quinn here in the mix, so that's going to be that threshold is still there. So the short guys under 6 foot, scratch them off your list. Short arms, probably. So, for instance, Roger McCreary. This is a player that I like personally, but I don't think he'll be on the Cowboys list because of the measurables, the shorter arms. I don't know if he's gonna hit 6 foot or not. He might be at the 5'11", you know, that thing. But Cowboys, they're pretty strict on those measurables. Okay, let's go to the next group. Safeties. Kyle Hamilton's my number 1 player. There, obviously, Jaquan, Brisker, Daxton Hill. Okay, Lewis Cine and Kirby Joseph. All right, Kirby Joseph. I think some people are sleeping on him. I have him in my top 5. All right. Some people like the Baylor kid. Baylor players. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man. Don't judge the helmet. I do because where these teams are recruiting from makes a difference. That's why when you see these USC quarterbacks all bust out, they're where they're recruiting from is why that's the issue. Okay. All right. So, and he's okay. I've already studied Petrie. He'll take plays off. He's not there all the time. You know, you can show the highlights and be, you know, ooh and ah and that kind of crap. But when you watch a full game, a couple of them, you'll see why I don't have him in my top 5. Give me Kirby Joseph. Give me Lewis. Give me Daxton. Any of these guys in my top 5. Give them to me. Okay. Let's go to the offensive side of the ball now. Quarterbacks. Right. Kenny Pickett's my number 1. Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Carson Strong at number 4, and Sam Howell. All right. I've seen reports here where the Cowboys met with a lot of these guys at the combine. And in particular, I think they had a lot of interest in Carson Strong. Supposedly they met with him the longest. So take that with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the Cowboys taking a quarterback early this year. You know what I mean? So, but they got to start thinking about it. They got to start thinking about drafting quarterbacks. If it's not the first or second, just keep adding bodies in here so you can see if you can develop somebody. All right? Because, you know, like I said, Dak is going to turn 29 years old. That puts you in the, you know, the 14 to 16% percentile as far as making a first appearance in the Super Bowl. That's not good. All right? So you can't keep getting older and hoping that you're going to make an appearance here in the Super Bowl. So window's closing there. When do the Cowboys make a move? We'll see, but it's not going to be this year, I don't think. So those are my quarterbacks. Let's look at running backs. Isaiah Spiller's my number 1, followed by Breece Hall. You know, the production's there. My sleeper, the guy that I want the Cowboys to actually draft, Kennedy Brooks, the running back out of Oklahoma. Okay. Oklahoma, you know, their linemen hit and miss, but the running backs, they're pretty good at putting running backs into the NFL. Okay. And I feel really good about Kennedy Brooks. He really does remind me of an Emmitt Smith type of player with the balance. You know, the stop and move, the stop and go, keeping balance, and always moving forward. You know what I mean? So Kennedy Brooks is a player to watch. Rashad White out of Arizona. I like him. He reminds me of DeMarco Murray, Eric Dickerson. Running style, you know, a little bit more upright. But when they hit that second gear, they're gone, bro. They can catch the ball out of the backfield, too. So that's a good one here. James Cook is my number 5, right? I would love the Cowboys to draft James Cook, but he kind of has the same attributes as Tony Pollard. And we know what the Cowboys do with that. Hardly anything, okay? If the Cowboys do draft a running back, which I think they really need to, it's for getting their feet wet this year and getting them ready, you know, to pass that torch, all right? Because you're going to be in a contract year for Tony Pollard this season. All expectations are that Zeke will not be here after this season. So, you know, get ahead of it. Get ahead of it. Don't wait until the last minute to add somebody, man. So, Rico, what about Rico Dowdle? That he's always hurt, man. He's always hurt. And the guy with the glasses or whatever, I mean, it's a good story, but get you a premier running back. And I'm not talking first, second round. You can grab uh, most of these guys, from the third, fourth, and on. You know what I mean? So grab you one. Okay. Let's go to wide receivers. Garrett Wilson is my number 1. Treylon Burks is my number 2. Drake London is my number 3. David Bell is my number 4. And Chris Olave is my number 5. Okay, so it would be nice to get Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, if you could get somebody that knows how to use Treylon Burks. And that might be a player that you draft now, Treylon Burks. And if they do make a move for Sean Payton will know how to use a Treylon Burks. Okay. Like I said, I've been comparing him to the style of, you get him in the right coordinator, he'll be the next Debo, he'll be the next Cordell Patterson. So get him in the right system, and he'll flourish. Okay. Drake London I like, but he's on the ground too much. He gets nicked up. He's one of these guys that's going to be, is he ready this week? You know what I mean? He's going to be one of those types of guys, kind of like Amari Cooper, always kind of dinged up. Don't really know if he's going to play. I'm not a big fan of Drake London. David Bell, however, I do like him a lot. And Chris Olave, I think people have forgotten about him. All right, let's go to tight ends. Trey McBride is my number 1. I think he's just the most well-rounded, ready to go out the gate and produce. Whether it's blocking, catching, red zone threat, I think he's that. Jeremy Ruckert has shown that ability, and I think he's going to really show out at the next level. So I like those two there. Jalen Weidemeyer out of A&M is my number 3. Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina is my number 4. And Charlie Kolar out of Iowa is my number 5 tight end. Okay. But honestly, the tight end position I think is pretty deep. There's a lot more in this, Dulcich is another one, but he's more like he's more of a Blake Jarwin type. You know what I mean? So these other ones are a lot more. They're a lot more polished. These top 5 here. Okay, offensive tackles. Ike Ekwonu is my number 1. Like I just like that he can come in day 1 and be a left tackle and be good at it. If you want to put him at right tackle, he'll do good there. Charles Cross, probably the more athletic of this group. You can get him a little bit bigger, and I think in year 2 he'll really be a dominant presence. Year 1 for Charles Cross, I think he'll play well. You know what I mean? I think he would be a solid fit for the Cowboys if he were to make it that far. But these are premium positions. They usually go in the top 15 or so. To get to 24, it'll be a miracle. But it could happen. Okay, Evan Neal's my number 3. I just don't think he's a number 1. A number 1 for me is you can play left or right and be solid. Evan Neal, like I've been saying, he'll excel at right tackle. Put him there. Whoever drops him, put him at right. You put him at left, he's going to struggle. He's not going to look that good. All right? So we'll see where he goes. Trevor Penning, I like him. I think he got a Senior Bowl boost. And so did Bernard Ryman. I think both those guys got Senior Bowl boost. Now they could get more of another boost with the combine. Let's see what these measurables are. Let's see how they look in the drills. What is their strength? Are they going to be putting up 30 reps at the 225, or are these guys going to be putting up 9 and 10? All right, so you got to keep an eye on that, because the strength matters for the linemen. You really got to come in here strong. You can't come in here like a Connor Williams type who's not very strong, because it'll show up in the game. You get exposed up the ass. So keep an eye on those guys, but that's my listing there. Let's look at the interior guys to wrap it up. Kenyon Green's my number 1. Tyler Linderbaum for the center is in there in the mix. Zion Johnson, Jamari Salyer is out of Georgia. I like him over Darian Kennard, but I do have Darian Kennard in my top 5. But I do like Salyer. I think he's a mauler type, and Georgia's been putting out, some pretty decent O linemen here in recent years. So I like him. Darian Kennard, I do have him listed as an interior lineman. Obviously, he played a lot of tackle here at the Senior Bowl, and that's where he's listed as a tackle. But I think at the next level, he'll excel as a guard. So he might be a player, man. He might be a guy that the Cowboys, plug in at left guard. And definitely he would be an upgrade over Connor Williams and Connor McGovern. McGovern has maxed out. He's maxed out. Didn't really see any big improvement. Not like we did with Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele, like I said, he's going to be starting on this line. So they got to figure out where they're going to move some people. Okay? Are they going to move on from Tyron? Are they going to move on from Lyle? Are they going to ask Lyle to move to guard? Somewhere, somehow, Steele is going to start for you on this line. I'm sold on that. Okay, so for me, it's the guard spot that you're really going to be looking at. Okay, so those are my top 5 per position groups. Let me know what you guys think. Post your top 5s in the comments if you have time. And like I said, Tuesday, Mike and I will be putting together our initial top 100s. We'll each have our own separate ones, so that's going to be fun. That'll be Tuesday night. But that's all I have tonight, guys. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. Catch you for the next one. Peace.